want to go over the status of things, and we have monthly meetings to do this. Let me rearrange my screen here a second. I'm trying to make this thing smaller. Paul, I'm not a Zoom user, so I'm at a loss here, but
Oh, can you
here, I think I found it. I found that right handle. Okay. All right, I'm going to show my screen and go through the. Okay, you can see a spreadsheet.
Yep.
All right. People have seen this before, but we're through the critical path. We got the Legion Hall reserved, and we got the deposit down for that. We've got the Peace Garden reserved, and as far as reservation goes, Mara, what's been your experience? You call the casino and they.
You know, I was thinking about it. They have blocked out Friday completely. It said booked. But I realized I went online.
Did you call them?
I did not call.
Oh, okay.
But it might be booked for everyone.
Okay. I think there are still Martha called my sister called the casino and they said they were sold out on Friday, and I suspect it's because we still have our blocker rooms. So I think people can still sign up for
to call rather than to
well,
online.
Call and ask for the Rolette Reunion reservation. So anyway, so what I want to go over today is really just things that are in the lime colored, and then other things that are due course. Well, in Norway, of course, we'll extend the invitation to anybody in Norway. They're welcome to come out for the reunion.
Yep.
Let's go down the website. Josh, any issues there? I think we're in.
No, haven't had anything come up.
Okay. Online seminars. Yeah, we're doing great there, I think. Finances, my sister Martha is off to my left right here, and I are heading that up. But we looked at the finances. We're still a little bit short on Paul, help me out with the numbers, but I think about 22,000 is the overall budget. And we're at 19,000.
19,1. Hi, Martha.
You know, I can't be on at the same time.
No, you can't have your.
I think we have 19,300 is received, and we need about 23. So
yeah,
about 4,000 short.
So we're gonna have to beat the bushes. See if we can get a few more donations, and we'll have to make a decision about fees for the reunion, but we can do that probably the first quarter next year. And our plan, well, let me get a little further in this list. And
Can I have a quick question there, Jeff?
Yeah.
And maybe this is for Martha, but of the biggest chunk of that is the monument, the sculpture.
Correct.
And how much in terms of that, because that was where there were specific pledges. Where are we at there in terms of like 80% filled, 70, whatever the thing might be?
Yeah, this is Steve Gilgy. I haven't made my pledge. I've made my pledge, but I haven't sent it in yet. So I owe you a few $100 for that. So.
Yeah, we do have a couple of outstanding pledges, but even if those come in, we're still going to be about $2,000 short.
This is for the sculpture.
Well, I'm considering all one pot, but yeah,
right.
Because if we add to the sculpture, that raises the balance and leaves more for the reunion.
Well, the reason I ask about the sculpture is since it is the largest part of the whole thing, that I've assumed the money that's pledged is coming on that because people have already, made a decision on it, and it's just a matter of, timing.
I think so, and I hope they do come through, but we'll see. Okay, ancestry update. Paul's going to get a hold of Wanda and Joe and Mike.
Just to let you rest a second, on the ancestry update, one of the interesting issues for a reunion like this is do we have some kind of a booklet or book that would look like a ancestral record with people picking up something that shows who grandma and grandpa were and their parents and all that. And at the moment, we've got something like 10, 12, 15 different families. And so we're struggling with what would be helpful, but would not be overwhelming. And I'm thinking that we might try to have, say, 3 different laptops at the reunion, and people have questions, they can come up and we can refer them and give them a online copy of what they want rather than hard copy, or could have them limited hard copy. So we're really trying to decide, Jeff, what would work best and not overwhelm us, but be helpful to people, because when they come, they want to know, how am I related to Jeff Epping, that kind of thing. So
my recommendation there is to let a recommendation from Wanda as to what we should do. The Ancestry Committee should something forward, and my personal bias is keep it online, especially if we have multiple families as opposed to printing out materials. But I leave it to Wanda and Joe.
Thank you. We'll rely on her too. Appreciate that. Okay, keep going.
All right, lodging, well, Reunion headquarters, we've got that. It's all booked. The hotel we talked about. I guess, Bernie, you'll call Sky Dancer and see where our reservation stands?
Right, I'll do that first of the week.
Okay, great. Okay, I'll skip over publicity because we've really combined that with the online registration. Josh, have you talked with Brian lately? Have you guys? I know Brian was traveling, but
we've talked a little bit. We have 2 big ideas that we are currently pursuing. One is to use a site like Eventbrite. And so that will kind of host the collecting of payments and registration fees and stuff like that. The only downside is it'll cost a little bit more to use. That cost we can pass on to users.
yeah.
The other thing that we're looking at is integrating Swipe with the website. And so what we do is on the website, we'd have a form. People would click options and say, like I want to register and then I want to add on this or that. They'd click a button and then that would pop them to a window where they complete their payment, and then they'd be navigated back to the website. So it's kind of a seamless way to collect payments, lower cost with that option. Again, that cost would be passed on to whoever's registering. So we're trying to just find a balance between what kind of costs we're incurring in order to collect these payments and the ease of use.
Okay. Can we talk logistics? I think can we think about early October's having a prototype or recommendation from you guys as to what to do? Given September's going to be a heavy travel month.
Right. Yeah, I think so. Before I commit, maybe I'll get with him and just I haven't emailed him in a couple of months. So sorry,
the latter half of October. That'll give us plenty of time. Because in my mind, we want to have the registration perfected, I think, by 1st of December, something like that.
Yeah.
So if we have a notionally where we're headed by October 15th, and we can present it to the group and proceed on that basis.
Okay.
Okay.
I think one last thing with that is so I've started creating accounts just to test things out, and some of them are requiring like information for business entities in order to sign up and use. So maybe we'll just have to discuss what information is going to be best to put in there, because we're not a business. And actually we don't have I guess I want to make sure we haven't set up anything business wise, and we're not registered as a LLC or anything.
Oh, no, we're not a corp. We avoided that for tax.
Sorry.
We don't want to hassle somebody with
Yeah.
reporting. So everything is just current cash flow and
And no,
we do have a checking account.
Yeah.
We can have funds deposited to and
Yep.
withdrawn from.
Okay. And no like 501 status, charitable
No.
organization,
No.
nothing. Okay. Just
No,
wanted to ask
this-
because
this couldn't be considered a charity, so.
right, there's different, designations.
Yeah, I'm being glib.
So I just want to make sure because the stuff that I'm looking at, it's very specific. So I just
Yeah,
want to make sure that
They
that I
want,
know.
they want to pin it to a
Understand.
corporate entity of some sort.
Yep. Yep.
Well, we aren't for.
Yep. Okay, perfect. Those are questions that I had. Thank you.
Banker about that.
Yeah, Martha mentioned, we spoke with a banker and we've got a credit card. Is it debit or credit?
It's a debit.
Debit card. But we can accommodate cash flows. I don't see that as a problem. If sites require a corporate entity, we'll have to parse that.
Yep.
Okay, Carolyn, the preparation. We put a date on some of this. This is a spring activity. We'll look into that. By that time, we should have an idea of how many people are signing up and what the demand is and what we need to prepare. Any questions about that? Okay, then during the reunion, photography. Paul, have you been able to get a hold of Leslie?
Yeah, she's set.
Okay.
She is all set. Leslie lives in Botno. She's in the business of photography, so she'll be available to take pictures at the picnic for sure. And I don't know if she might want to take pictures of. I think the whole question, which we haven't talked to her about, and we might want to think about, is the ceremonies themselves for extraction of the time capsule and the refilling, and whether that needs to be in some video form. I think we haven't even talked about that. So
Okay.
we're traditionally talking about a big picture of everybody present, but this could lend itself very well for some good video, I think. So that's got to be on the calendar. And we could talk to Leslie to see if she wants to play a role in that. She might. I don't know that.
Note there. Okay. Then we turn to the reunion. The Thursday before the pre-reunion meeting. Andy Gilgy, Paul, you're going to contact him.
Yeah, Andy's on the city council. He set up the arrangements for getting the memorial hall, and he's also talked to me about the need for parking or traffic control. So yeah, he's on top of this.
Okay. And then Frederica's doing the setup of artifacts. We could talk to her about that on the trip.
Yeah, she's been already talking to people about how many tables. I'd say the one thing about the artifacts thing is that to make it a real success, people who are coming need to know what that means and have some enthusiasm about bringing along something that they maybe had in the family that is an artifact from the immigrants or something the immigrants made, and they'd like to show it off during the reunion. So that's to stimulate people to do that is going to be a little bit of a task.
Well, my thought comes to mind on Josh, on the registration setup, we can have as one of the checkoff items, I will bringing artifacts, and we can suggest some types or pictures or what have you to get a read early with the registration.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
Bring a rock. Yeah, Joe, you got to bring rocks from.
So does everybody else, wherever they are.
Okay, the registration, Carla's heading that up. That's really an activity for next year. Okay, then Westland's informal tours, the only need there is to have a map. Steve, are you on still?
Yeah, I'm here. Actually, Brenda Gilgy has done a pretty detailed survey of every plot out there, and I need to get with her on it. I have
Okay.
the official old map, and I keep the updates. But frankly, some of that stuff's pretty hard to read on that old map. I recently spent a little bit of time with Grok 3 and asked Grok to give me a symmetry program. It cranked out hundreds of pages of Python program in no time flat. And I haven't had time to really go look through it, but I mean, I described the plots, you know, they're 20 by 24, they're 4 feet apart. They contain 8 to 10 graves, and it was amazing. I I hadn't used artificial intelligence before, but it was really cool what it could do.
Can we, I mean, in my work, we deal a lot with GIS, geographic information systems. Joe does too. Could we produce a pretty sophisticated, if given input data, we could produce a pretty sophisticated map of that.
Mhm.
Do you think that data exists to know geographically where where specifically they are? We can get it down to 4 feet. That's not an issue.
Yeah, I think so. You know, we know where it is in the world, and we know that we have the plot.
Okay.
Are you
So
referring to the Pioneer Cemetery?
yeah, Westland
Well,
Cemetery.
Westland, yeah.
Well, there's two cemeteries that I saw, but one of them, it's just a field overgrown. I don't know if there's a map of that. It's just called the
There
Pioneer
isn't.
Cemetery.
Yeah, it's I'm going to actually spruce that one up a little bit. First of all, I'm going to go in there and mow that and fix the fence, and there's only one monument in the middle. There's no map of where any of the graves are. It's
Okay.
supposedly only babies that died in infancy, that, you know, prior to baptism at the Westland Church. I have heard that there's a Bakken or two buried in there, but I do not know for sure.
Well, when I was there, Brent Christensen, who we talk about here. His father, Dwayne Christensen, is my second cousin. And when I was back there about 4 years ago, he took me to those cemeteries, and
Mhm.
according to him, and I saw in the Westland Cemetery, I saw the gravestones for my great grandfather Torger, or TK Bakken, and
Yeah.
his son Oscar. Hold on a second here. That's my phone. I've got it.
Does anybody know the name of the Second Circuit Cemetery?
And then anyway, his son Oscar was there. But then I was told that around the corner in that Pioneer Cemetery, my great grandmother, that's how I'm connected.
That is correct, Bernie. That is correct. Turi is buried in that cemetery. And
Right.
so
That's what I was told.
So is Sven Olsen, Britta's husband. So yes, there are both infants and others. I have in the files of that Steve that are actually in the Rolette Bank, but I've got copies of them. We do have a approximate list of the names of the people who are buried there.
Okay.
Great.
Like I say, I'm going to try to clean it up so it looks good, and we'll put a new gate on it so you can go in there and look around. But I don't know of any markers in the cemetery.
Okay.
Well, Steve, you live there. Are you the one that's on the city council? You live you live in the area?
That's my brother. I actually farm this land.
Oh, great.
That's awesome.
Joe, I just put your name here with mine on, if we can get the GIS, we can get the coordinates, we can produce a map. You
Yeah.
agree? Okay. All right, then we go to 1 p.m. on the 10th, and the reunion begins. Remove the sealed capsule. Yeah, we'll need a hammer and chisel and stuff. But
Yeah, I'm thinking of a masonry saw. Does anybody remember how thick that cornerstone is? Is it
I
2
don't.
inches thick? Is it 3, 4? How far do I need to reach in there on the grout to get it out?
It's a couple of things, Jeff or Steve, that are in styrofoam cylinders. 2 styrofoam cylinders roll back into the back of the vault. So when the outside stone comes out, we ought to be able to just run the finger in there and pull them out.
Right, but
Yeah,
How
that's,
Yeah,
thick
the
is that?
outside stone, is that it just cemented in there or how
It's
is?
just,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just cemented in.
just the
Yeah.
mortar, around the stone itself.
But how thick is that stone? How deep do I need to penetrate
Oh.
that mortar?
Oh, it's just a typical brick. That's my memory.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 inches, 4 inches.
Yeah,
3-4 inches. Well, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Okay. The sculpture itself, we'll have to decide the sculpture name. We don't need to do that right now. We don't need a permit. There's no issues there.
Yeah.
And we'll have the dedication of the beaver, matriarch tombstone. Randy, we discussed that last meeting. He'll take care of that. Then traffic controls, we'll just we'll need for the the committee is traffic control and logistics, but for that we'll need a battery powered PA system and that sort of thing. We'll have to worry about that next year, I think, because we got to know how many people we potentially are going to have and that sort of thing. Then moving back to Legion Hall at 3 p.m. We'll open the capsule there. And we're going to have to we want to convert the cassette to digital. We'll have to make sure we can get the old cassette technology and read it. That might be harder than it looks. Then we'll have a welcoming with Paul and recognition, Frederica. Then I talked to Jordan. He's deciding when we're going to do the recipe activities, whether it's here in addition to the Peace Garden or how he's going to do it, but he'll circle back. Then evening activities. Aaron and Randy, they were in the last meeting and talked about that and what we're going to have. We actually took these notes, so I think we're in good shape there. Then there
Going to be a dinner. That's going to be a dinner on Friday night at the Legion Hall.
correct.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, at 5 p.m. and then the program into the
One little issue is the kind of reception that we have and any instructions or work that would have to be done. Steve, do you know if Andy would have answers to the question of if they served alcohol, whether that would work at the reception?
Yes, that's fine in that memorial hall.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Paul, you haven't talked to Brenda about getting a quote. Yeah, that hasn't gone any further than last month.
This is talking to Brenda about what?
About getting a quote for the dinner, for catering the
Oh,
dinner.
no, yeah, no, that's the thing we don't have yet. And that was one of the things you and I were in a chat about, is to make sure we pretty soon here can agree on dinner and price, as well as agree on picnic and price. And all that really needs is to have one pretty observant person. I was thinking about Gail Tosted, who's hired our caterer several times. If Gail would be the key person to help decide on the dinner menu and on the picnic menu, so we've got a price we can use when we're getting registration.
Okay. Do you want to take the lead on that?
Yes, I will. Yes.
All right. Okay, tours. As far as today's meeting, we're going to have tours of various farms. We discussed various activities, and possibly a tour of the sod house. We have to produce a map of the farm tours, which, again, we can produce a GIS map if we get coordinates.
Hey, Jeff,
Yeah.
are we gonna do anything with the geology up there?
Well, we could. That's a good point, Joe. I mean, I don't know how much outcrop there is there. I mean, we can wax on it, but do you think there's things to visit up there, sites to visit?
There
Turtle
might
Mountain?
be, it would be mostly, I mean, we can focus on the glacial stuff.
Yeah,
Or we can look and see where there might be some, because I'm thinking that there might be Cretaceous stuff up there. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I mean, we're pretty far from Pembina though, but
yeah.
but still there might be some stuff up there. I'm not, I have to look closer.
Okay, I'll put that down here.
Right there.
I hesitate to call it a tour, but let's see.
Steve, what's the closest oil well that have ever been to your farm?
Well, we've attempted it twice on our farm, but both have failed. Closest producing oil well to here is probably Surse, just half a dozen miles west of Botno.
Okay, so about 30 miles.
35, 40 miles.
'Cause
Yeah, unfortunately, God in his graces didn't endow Rolette with.
Yeah, we're on the very shallow end of the Bakken, and all the oil run to the middle. So
Yep.
Well, I was going to assign Jeff and Joe to find the oil for us in Rolette County.
apparently there
Commission a drill rig. We'll be up there.
and there are coal mines, or there were coal veins in the Turtle Mountains, and there's oil being pumped on the north side of the Turtle Mountains in Manitoba,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing on the U.S. side yet.
Canadians taking everything, you know.
I'm
Joking.
Canadian, I'll take.
Okay.
We've just got lots of sand and gravel is where we're at. But
That's it. Okay, Peace Garden, we got the reservation. We discussed it last month. There will be a separate registration fee that'll have to be tagged on to our reserving sites at the Peace Garden. Sorry, Mark.
Did we pay for the reservation? The Peace Garden? I didn't get that.
Well, we've got a deposit down, but we haven't paid it in full.
Last we was in Peace Garden. Our driver get problem. He hadn't the passport.
Yes,
So-
passports and visas for our visitors are going to be needed.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. We'll have to, in the registration, Josh, that's another thing to note, that people are going to have to make sure they have passports or some sort of government ID. Okay.
Well, hold on just a second about that passport thing. I haven't had a current passport for years. Isn't this all on the US side that we're going to?
It's international, quote unquote, and to get into that, few
Especially-
100 acres or few tens hectares, you have to have identification to get in and out.
Well, what about like a real ID?
I don't know. I would
We
think
should
that would
call
take
Peace
a call to the Peace Garden.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that I think you do need a passport. The real ID, I don't believe is gonna work.
Yeah,
I just
I think
I
you're
just
right.
looked at the Peace Garden website and it says border services in Canada and the US will accept a driver's license and birth certificate.
Okay.
So it's possible those might still work.
Bernie, if you
Driver's license or birth certificate?
And
Oh, so
If
you
you get
need
a
to bring
real-
your birth certificate with you.
It's like government. To get a real ID, you need to show a birth certificate. So
Right, yeah.
Bernie, if you could
redundancy of
call,
government.
Bernie, would you call the International Peace Garden and just get this verified down to the last inch? You ask the right questions, because there are some people that think that so long as a visitor stayed within the confines of the park, that he's wandering around just as if he's in regular land in the USA, and there's no problem. But if he wants to go outside the park to the north to Canada, then he's got to show his port. But others have told me that no, if anybody comes into the park, no matter who he is, he's got to have a passport in order to get out. And I've been puzzled by that.
No, Carla said that that you need a passport to get in.
Thank you.
You
Thank
need a
you.
passport to get in, need a passport to exit.
Okay, thank you. That answers the question.
And Josh, that's something we'll have to note in the registration.
Okay,
Yep,
thank you.
we can add that.
Okay, and then all right, children's activities. My daughter and my niece will be manning that, and I guess it's just going to be open grass activities. We're gonna have maybe tug of war, tag, or something. But hopefully we'll have a lot of kids there and have a lot of fun. We confirm that. So, all right, then I'm in email communication with Jordan about the recipe collection and exchange. And let's see. Then the auction, Lisa's going to handle that. We'll have to figure out whether that's catered. But we'll do that later. And Lisa's going to auction off the painting, which is going to be neat.
On that matter, Jeff, of the informal, we're on to the informal Saturday night event at the Legion Hall, right?
Right.
I think we're thinking that hopefully no catering officially needs to occur if somehow somebody would be willing to take a chance on making some snacks available for sale just on the fact of being there without having to have a reservation. That would be the ideal thing. If people get together just to visit, and if there were a bartender there and some snacks, then we wouldn't have to worry about taking any reservations or cash. It would be handled by the people right on the spot.
So set up snack bar.
Yeah, that would be the ideal thing. And it's possible that Brenda, our caterer, will play a role in that. Anyway,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
better check on that. Thank you.
I can't even remember what this note was. Okay. Okay. Then again, Aaron with the evening music.
Yes, she and Randy have got plans for music.
Yeah, I think that's under control. Okay. Closing activities on Sunday, we'll have the service. I know Don and Sue are in conversation on that, so I think that's moving smoothly. And then we have the emplacement of the capsule.
Yeah.
And I don't
And
know.
there, Jeff, some individual, in fact, we can talk about whether we want one or more throughout the reunion, somebody to be sort of in custody of all the notes that people will be placing in the
That's a good point.
resealing, and keep in their custody. So then that would be placed in there, and then we'll have to decide the kind of container that will hold them. If the concept of the styrofoam cylinder fits or not, or that will depend upon what we decide. But to have that clearly understood before the reunion will be important.
Okay.
And then, Steve, I don't think there'll be need much mortar that day, just for the reinserting of about as equal amount of mortar that we take off the stone is to be put back on to seal it up for another 50 years.
Yeah, and we'd discuss people contributing a few grams of soil from Norway and various parts, so we can
From
seal that up.
Gilia.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Yep.
And those pictures are valuable. I have pictures of my kids putting the mortar on their stone in 1976.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're down to the informal reunions. Inga's going to handle that. I'm in conversation with her. That's something we can plan later. I don't think there's any, for the registration, there's any, maybe it gets a mention. Well, I guess in the registration, we're gonna have a listing of all these events. But I don't think there's a decision point on that one. And then the golf tournament, my nephew or grandnephew, Tyler, has contacted Jay, so they're talking. And that brings us to the bottom. All right. Anybody else have any comments or
A couple of
questions?
questions on a couple of those activities, 'cause I
Sure.
don't, I'm just scanning that email from Paul. The last couple items you've mentioned, a golf tournament, and informal reunions. Are they something that, am I missing something here? I don't see them on the,
Yeah,
on
right.
this outline of activities.
Right here.
Well, what time, what day and time is, I can't, that's too small a print for me to read it.
Yeah, that's on,
So,
it's on Sunday, I'm sorry, Sunday, the 12th
Uh-huh,
at 1 p.m.
okay. Oh, right, because that's after all the other stuff is morning stuff. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeff, I might want to raise one question that I'd like people to think about. And that is, when I fill out my registration to come to the reunion, we want that to be a very appealing thing so people are most interested in coming and they're not put off by the price. And if the husband and wife and 2 kids are planning to come to the reunion, they're going to have 4 dinners and four things that they got to eat at the picnic. That could that amount that would be on the registration fee would be clearly well over $100.
Oh,
Um,
well over $100. I think more like 200.
well, yeah, okay, by 200, right? And so I'm thinking here. Some people would say, well, I guess we've got to eat anyway, so that this is taken care of. But I just wanted us to have our eyes open when we submit the registration as to what we think would be an advantage or neutral. It might be neutral. People wouldn't hesitate twice that they would go ahead and write the check out for $200. Or
Well, a couple of thoughts there. I think one is we could hound the, try to elicit funding, fundraising, ask for contributions that will essentially keep the price down.
yes, right.
That's one way.
Yeah.
I think, I think we have to, I'd like to see us get the pledges, the current pledges, outstanding pledges in, and then we got to figure out what our deficiency is. We've got to have the prices for the meals. I think this, to put a fine pencil on it, I think that's an October activity.
Yeah, okay.
Jeff,
October, November activity,
Yeah.
and we should have the information on what things will cost. And I do agree with the principle that there shouldn't not be a disadvantage for families to come.
Jeff,
Yeah, Carolyn.
one of my thoughts was that we could do a smaller price for, or a lower price for children, or we could do a family registration that wouldn't charge each family member an individual price. I mean, that we can just kind of throw some of those ideas around and see what may work best and not overload the website either with choices.
Yeah. Let's see. Um,
I'm late.
Are we frozen up here?
I think it's on your end. Well, I don't know. Can others?
Okay, maybe no one was talking. I just heard silence for a while.
I think that's right, Bernie. I think we ran out of things to say.
I'm just typing.
That's new.
That never happens to Jeff.
Okay. Design and structure registration. If I could type, I'd be dangerous. Charges so as not to burden families. Okay.
One other thing, Arna, you're still on the call, are you?
Yeah.
Would you tell Jeff and Joe and Carolyn, they're on the thing this afternoon, about what your plans are for them when they reach Birchedal on the 11th of September for the tour of Gilead. I think they'd be interested in what you've planned for the rest of the day.
Yeah, when you arrive, you think from you arrive to Birkedal, or what you think about Paul, the whole day?
Yeah, you got the whole day.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you come from Bukle and about lunchtime, I think.
Yes.
Then we go up to Giljastølen and have rømmegrøt at Daniel's old new old cabin up there with all this old scripture in from Enoch Gilje and so on in the walls.
Okay.
And, yeah, and then we go down to museum at Dirdal to see what local industry has been here. After that, visiting Moen, or we can do Moen before that. I have to talk to Tarje about that.
Okay.
And up to we have to go up to Glenove, where Enoch come from.
I know Glenville.
Yeah. That's about what the program is for that day. And so it's dinner, 5 o'clock at Birkedal in the mountain. That's nice for a geologist.
Yeah.
It's inside the rock.
Yep.
Yeah, and
You might lose Joe and I for 36 hours, but that's
yeah. We have hello.
yeah. We're
Yeah. I lost the picture. We have organized with Bjørn Haaland to sing an hour right after the dinner, and then from 7 o'clock it's open. So we have some open program, but it's open to talk to different people, and we invite it's open invitation for people at Gilead, Dirdal, and who else who want to come. It's dinner and concert in one. Yeah.
Well, that sounds great, Arna. Thank you so much for putting that together. And I, for one, love Romagrout.
Sorry,
I love Romagrout.
Romagrout. Yeah.
Yeah, you made me wish I'm coming now.
it's not too late to sign up.
Gluten-free.
Yeah, that is so far we have. Yeah.
And then tomorrow on the next morning, you're going to have a tour of the Gilead
To
trip.
Gilead, yeah.
The window.
Gilead window. To the factory.
That'd be great.
I don't know how early you are ready in the morning, but that's up to you.
Okay, good.
Carlos will guide you around in the factory. He is just retired manager, but he's still in the border and still in the around. So
Yes.
so he will guide you, and then after that, the plan is you leave for Stavanger.
Yeah, okay, yes, good.
But if yeah, if any other wishes coming up, we are ready.
Good. Thank you, Arna, very much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Okay, Jeff, thank you. all.
Oh, Joe and I'm sure wouldn't mind giving this presentation on geology in Norway. What during the tour, when in the itinerary would it make sense? I don't know who's organizing the whole thing, but
Yeah. Yeah, that could be something to take at least. I don't know if the whole might be too much in the evening, but it's very interesting how how Norway have traveled around the world before.
yeah. Well,
And
we can do it on the fly.
yeah,
So.
maybe you could make a little shorter. It can be much in the evening if you take the whole, but let's think about that.
Okay.
Hey,
It's very
Jeff?
interesting. It's so special. I never seen it before.
Hey, Jeff,
Yeah.
I've got another idea. What about, it's kind of like whenever we take a geology field trip with, when I was in school, is as you're driving along the highway, we should be able to point out certain things as we're doing this route, don't you think?
I think we could, but my only caveat is most of my practice in geology has been offshore, offshore,
Yeah.
onshore. I'd rather go through the rock units first and then give a tour. But we can wing it.
Yeah, I mean, because if we're driving through Norway, I mean, be like driving through North Dakota. You got glacial features all over the place.
Yeah, yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
In fact, just under my house here, just behind where Enoch used to live, is some small quarries into the mountain. So they try to take out iron, I think, and they say also copper. I
Yeah,
don't think that could be right, but
yeah.
the same company who produced the copper for the Liberty lady in New York.
Hmm.
Oh,
They moved the stuff from Gilead to Karmøy
Yeah.
and continue production out there. So
Yeah.
so some say there is copper from Gilead in that statue, but I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a too good story.
Well, I might have to just stay with Arnie for a few days, and you guys can go on the bus trip.
Yeah. I have one question before we break. Does anybody know the actual look? This is for the registration. The actual address of the Legion Hall.
I think it's on the map.
I tried looking at it in Google Maps and I wasn't
You
successful.
couldn't get it? Well,
No, but for people who are coming, the first thing they're gonna do is put an address in Google Maps.
here, I'll send Arnie
Well,
or Andy, I'll send Andy an email and ask him.
Okay.
we own the house directly across the street from it, and that's 601 Second Avenue. So it would probably be 5 something Second Avenue.
Oh,
Okay.
Steve, can you verify that with Andy?
Sure.
Hey,
Good.
do you want the address?
If you got it.
It looks like it's 503 Second Avenue in Rolette.
503.
Yep.
Okay. So Josh, when we put this together, we can put all the addresses. All right. Anybody else have anything? Good, bad, or indifferent? Well, Arnie, it's probably getting late for you, but
I'm going to swim in the river now. So the sun is almost going down now. So
all right. All right. We'll see everybody.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right.
all right, thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.